Hey, it's you again. And I mean that literally. Every video on this channel is really about you, about the strange little things your body does that trace all the way back to your ancestors. This one's about something almost everyone has felt and almost nobody's ever actually looked into.
Picture this. You're finally falling asleep. The room is quiet, your body feels heavy, your mind is just starting to drift. And then, bam! Your whole body jerks, hard. It feels exactly like you just missed a step on the stairs. You wake up, heart pounding, and you have absolutely no idea why.
Most of us just brush it off as a random glitch. But that jolt actually has a name. It has a history. And the reason your body still does it every single night has almost nothing to do with the bed you're sleeping in. Science calls it a hypnic jerk. And if you get them, you're in good company. Somewhere between 60 and 70% of people do. Right in that strange gray zone between being awake and being asleep. But to actually understand why it happens, we have to go back way before the invention of mattresses. Before beds. Before houses even. Millions of years ago, our early primate ancestors slept in trees. Height kept them safe from whatever was moving through the grass below. But sleeping in a tree comes with one obvious design flaw. If your body relaxes too much and your grip slips, you fall. And back then, falling meant dying. Survival meant staying locked onto that branch, even while you were completely unconscious. Psychologists believe the hypnic jerk is essentially an ancient survival reflex left over from exactly that. As your muscles suddenly go slack at the edge of sleep, your brain misreads that relaxation as the sensation of actually falling, and it fires off a defensive jolt through your muscles, trying to make you catch yourself before you hit the ground. It's worth being honest here. This specific idea is a hypothesis, not hard-proven fact, but it's the explanation that keeps showing up again and again, because it fits so well with the one sensation almost everyone reports feeling right before the jerk: falling. But here's the part that gets me. Eventually, we came down out of the trees for good. We built shelters. We learned fire. We started sleeping on solid ground, surrounded by people, instead of held up by a branch. The danger this reflex was built for disappeared completely, but your brain never got the memo. The thread is gone. The wiring stayed, sitting quietly in your brainstem, in the exact same ancient machinery that keeps your heart beating without you ever having to think about it. Completely outside the reach of your willpower. You can't decide your way out of it, because you were never the one making the decision in the first place. So why does it still happen almost every night in a bed that's never once been in any danger of falling anywhere? Sleep researchers think it's essentially a built-in safety check. One last scan of your surroundings and your own body's stability, run automatically right before your brain commits to shutting down for the night. In other words, it isn't a malfunction. It's a diagnostic. Your body quietly testing itself every single night, whether there's anything left to test or not. And honestly, sit with that for a second. Every night, on solid ground, with zero realistic chance of falling anywhere, a huge share of the human population still gets physically jolted awake by a defense system built for a threat none of us will ever face again. You're not broken when it happens to you. You're not even unusual. You're just carrying around a reflex that once kept your ancestors alive at a height none of us sleep at anymore, running on a body that never got the update. And that's exactly why it shows up more when you're exhausted, wired on caffeine, or anxious. Your nervous system reading those states the same way it once read genuine physical danger. There's something almost tender about that, if you actually think about it. A tiny piece of ancient machinery still clocking in every single night, faithfully, uselessly, checking for a fall that hasn't been possible in tens of thousands of years. It doesn't know the trees are gone. It just knows its job. And it's still showing up for it. For you, even now. So next time it happens, don't brush it off so fast. Just notice it. That half second of pure adrenaline. That phantom sensation of falling from nowhere.